Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the rolling hills of Scotland, there lived a young man named Alexander Gray. Alexander, or Xander as he was known to his friends, had always been a driven and ambitious person. From a young age, he had dreamed of becoming a successful businessman, and he had spent countless hours studying and working towards his goal. As Xander grew older, his hard work and determination began to pay off. He landed a scholarship to a prestigious university where he studied business and economics. He excelled in his studies and he quickly became one of the top students in his class. After graduating from university, Xander landed a high-paying job at a top investment firm in London. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming one of the firm's top young traders. He was making a six-figure salary and he was living the high life. But despite his outward success, Xander struggled with self-doubt and anxiety. He felt like he was living someone else's dream and that he was just going through the motions. He began to question whether this was really the life he wanted. And then, disaster struck. Xander made a series of bad trades, losing his firm millions of dollars. He was fired on the spot, and his reputation was left in tatters. Xander was devastated. He had never felt like such a failure in his life. He didn't know how he was going to pay off his debts or how he was going to rebuild his reputation. He felt like he was staring into the abyss with no safety net to catch him. For weeks, Xander struggled to get out of bed. He felt like he was in a dark cloud, and he didn't know how to escape. He began to question whether he was cut out for the business world or whether he was just deluding himself. But as he lay in bed one morning, something inside of Xander clicked. He realized that he had a choice to make. He could give up, or he could keep fighting. Xander decided to keep fighting. He got out of bed and he started making phone calls. He reached out to old friends and acquaintances, and he started networking. He applied for jobs, and he even started working on a new business idea. It wasn't easy. There were plenty of times when Xander felt like giving up, but he refused to let failure define him. He kept pushing forward even when it felt like the whole world was against him. And slowly but surely, things started to turn around. Xander landed a small consulting gig, which helped him pay off some of his debts. He started building a new professional network, and he even met a new woman who was kind and supportive. Xander's new business idea, a sustainable energy company, started to gain traction. He won a small grant from a local foundation, which helped him get his company off the ground. As Xander looked back on the past year, he realized that failure had been the best thing that had ever happened to him. It had forced him to re-examine his priorities and to find a new sense of purpose. Xander's company was now thriving. He had a team of employees, and they were making a real difference in the world. Xander had also found a new sense of happiness and fulfillment. He had learned to appreciate the small things in life, and he had discovered a new passion for sustainable energy. Xander's story spread like wildfire. He was interviewed on TV and radio, and he even landed a few speaking gigs. People were inspired by his resilience and determination, and Xander continued to inspire others. He started a podcast where he interviewed other entrepreneurs who had overcome failure. He wrote a book, which became a bestseller. And he even started a nonprofit organization, which helps support entrepreneurs who were struggling to get back on their feet. Xander's journey had been long and difficult, but it had also been incredibly rewarding. He had learned that failure was not the end, but rather a new beginning. And he had discovered that with hard work, determination, and a willingness to learn from his mistakes, he could overcome anything. Years later, Xander looked back on his journey with pride. He had come a long way from the young man who had been devastated by failure. He had built a successful business, and he had inspired countless others to do the same. And Xander knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would always be able to overcome them. He had learned the secret to success, and it had nothing to do with being perfect. It had everything to do with being resilient and with never giving up on his dreams. As Xander sat in his office, surrounded by the trappings of his success, he couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude. He was grateful for the journey that had brought him to this place. He was grateful for the failures and setbacks that had taught him so much. And he was grateful for the people who had supported him along the way. As he looked out the window, Xander felt a sense of peace wash over him. He knew that he still had challenges ahead of him, but he was ready. He was ready to face whatever came next, armed with the knowledge and experience he had gained. And so, Xander's story comes full circle. From the young man who had been devastated by failure to the successful entrepreneur who had overcome it, Xander's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and determination. In the end, Xander's story teaches us that failure is not the end, but rather a new beginning. It teaches us that with hard work, determination, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes, we can overcome anything. And it teaches us that success is not just about achieving our goals, but about the journey we take to get there. Xander's story is a reminder that we all have the power to overcome failure and achieve our dreams. We just have to be willing to take the first step. As we conclude Xander's journey, remember these timeless wisdoms. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Share this video with someone who needs to hear Xander's message. Leave a comment below with your own story of overcoming failure. Subscribe to our channel for more motivational stories. Take the first step towards achieving your own goals and dreams. Remember, failure is not the end. It's a new beginning. And with the right mindset and support, you can overcome anything.